Yo, peace, 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 peace. All right, once again, I got another story to tell. Today, I want to build on the 48 laws of power. Now, some of you may be familiar with the 48 laws of power. Some of you may not. But there's a guy by the name of Robert Greene. Robert Greene is an author who wrote a handful of books. He wrote the 33 Strategies of War. He wrote The Art of Seduction. He wrote the 48 Laws of Power. And he wrote a book named Mastery. But I'm going to speak of the 48 Laws of Power because that was one of his most popular books. One that a lot of politicians and people who use some of these strategies to become powerful in life utilize. 50 Cent utilized these things, and I actually wrote a book with Robert Greene called The 50th Law. Great book as well. So what happens is he goes and he uses some historical things in all of these books. And he shows you how either a person was able to use it to their benefit or how it worked to their demise. So you can take these things and basically, use them in your life and hopefully either benefit from them or not make the same mistakes as the people who did in the past, right? So the rule in this particular point is never outshine the master. Now, I want you to get what I'm saying here. The rule in this is to never outshine the master, right? So, in the story, it's about a king, right? So the king had an assistant, right? And his assistant loved the king. He wanted to always make the king proud. He always wanted to do what he felt was in the best interest of the king. He was a great assistant. So the king wanted to throw a party. And so he had told his assistant, I need you to throw me a great party. I want to impress these other kings and all these other kingdoms. I want to really leave a major impact. All right? I want this to be very, very memorable. And so his assistant, he understood the assignment, right? So the assistant goes out and he goes and sends all of the resources to make this happen. He sent people to the Arctic regions to get this ice and get like penguins and polar bears, and he wanted to carve ice figures. He sent people to China to get gunpowder and animals from China that no one had ever seen. He sent people to Australia. He sent people to the deepest parts of Africa to get animals that no one's ever seen. He sent people to Italy and to France to get exquisite silks and foods. You get the picture. People were sent all over the world to get these things that you would never be able to see in one part of the world. And of course, as you can guess, the party was a success. You had exotic women, you had exotic food, you had fireworks, you had animals, you had linens and silks and clothes. I mean, it was just anything you could possibly imagine was at this party. And everybody from every other kingdom was extremely impressed. Problem, they were so impressed that they went to the king and they said, man, your assistant threw such a great party. I need for him to throw a party for my daughter's wedding. Your assistant threw such a great party. I need for him to plan a party for my inauguration. Your assistant threw such a great party. I need for him to throw a party for, whatever was going on for them. This infuriated the king. You see, because he wanted the party to highlight how great he was. And the assistant threw such a great party that they were impressed by the person who threw the party. And it overshadowed the king. So after everyone left and all the pleasantries was done, the king went and called up his guard, and he had his assistant arrested, and the next day had his assistant killed. You see, sometimes you can be so loyal and so um, dedicated to serving the master, serving the supervisor, serving the company, serving the whoever it is that you serve, um, they become insecure. They look past your intentions and start thinking that you're too ambitious, and they start to see you as a threat, as opposed to the whole purpose of you being there to make whatever their company is or their dream is or their mission bigger and better and greater, right? And in this situation, it cost the assistant his life. So why do we bring this up? There's glass ceilings in the world, right? People will use your intellectual property and spit you out. They'll work you to death and have you used up and burnt out and hire the next person. There's no loyalty out here. It's best for you not to always show how great you are, how smart you are, how dedicated you are. Maybe show signs of it. Um, and control and mark what you do. Own programs that you create. Have your own brand. Have your own brand that you can always fall back on and do your own thing. I'm not saying that if you sell Pepsi that you create Coca-Cola. You don't always have to stay in the same pocket or the same lane. But find something else that you can do. That way, if someone decides to discard you, it's okay. You can go and focus on your thing and probably even be greater because you know how to be taught, you know how to be guided, you know how to accept constructive criticism, and you know how to exercise patience. And then when it's your time to be great, you can be great. Also, you also learn how to appreciate and spot another you, someone who respects your vision and is willing to sacrifice and be there for what you believe in and stand behind what you see going. And make sure that you don't become like that king. We have to break that perpetual cycle. As black men, we historically have to deal with a lot of as black men, we historically had to deal with a lot of companies who used us and seeing what we've been able to do and had us teach them what we've done, and then they got rid of us. As the CEO for First Step had said and reminded me, he said sometimes they'll teach you to teach your replacement your sauce, another white male or something, and then after you teach them, then they get rid of you, right? So just be mindful of that. But the key that Robert Greene was trying to get you to understand was to never outshine the master. And the key that I want you to learn is the same thing, but also to remember that you are also the master. So whenever you stop being in training, know that you are also going to become your own master. And it's time for you to cultivate others. Sometimes you got to go into that cocoon and it's time to come out and become your own butterfly bee. You hear me? So Word is born. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. I want you guys to learn, take heed, add on, build, put in what you can put in with that, and let me know what you got. We'll add on to another, because that's what we do. We build and we add on. Peace.